Hello, and welcome to another episode of Nature with You, where we share our favorite nature stories, memories, and interests while building awareness of environmental issues. I am your host, Abby, and today I will be talking to my friend Elisama. Elisama is a Florida native who enjoys napping, spending time with pets, and even snacking here and there. Enjoy the episode. Where do you feel most connected to nature?
So I've always felt the most connected to nature when I am in the ocean, mainly in any sort of beach area. Anytime we would go, like all of my happy memories were just being by like the beach, the overall the ocean. So that's one of my favorite things. When I was going through my hardship, losing my sister like 4 years ago, the first thing I did to control myself and just to relax myself was just go to the beach. So anytime, like I just go there.
Thanks for sharing that. What about the beach do you think calms you the most?
I honestly feel like it's more the sound of the waves. Like it could be like a low tide, or it could be like the most rip ride current that you're not allowed to go into the water. Also, ironically, at least in Miami a little bit, like just the sound of the annoying seagulls. Like if I hear them or if they're near me, I'm like, you know what? This is worth it.
Yeah. Have you had any like funny run-in stories with seagulls?
Oh my God, all the time. So we get seagulls and we also get pigeons. All the pigeons I call Kevin. If you guys know that One Direction like animation thing, you know. So all the pigeons, like they'll be a little bit quiet, but if you lay your towel, if you leave your snacks there, they're going to literally just walk up to you and take your chips, which is not a fun time. And with your seagulls, they do not care. They do not care. The most annoying memory I have of them, it's like I was eating my sandwich. I made a little sandwich to the beach and I was just eating it in my hand, like enjoying it, whatever. This seagull just comes and he's just flying over me. He knows that I'm seeing him and I'm like putting my sandwich away. And then this little seagull decides to literally just swoop in, take my sandwich, and fly away.
I mean, they may be annoying, but they go for what they want in this world. They
They
get
really
what
go for it.
they do.
They really go for it.
May we all be like that in our own ways.
Exactly. Honestly, I'm gonna start using that now. Be like, a seagull? Yeah, you just gotta be a seagull sometimes. You gotta go for what you want,
You just
no
gotta
matter
go
what
grab
it
it.
takes.
Grab it out of someone else's hands. Did your
Yeah.
family go like day beach trips or what was growing up like near a beach? Because like I grew up in some like mountain area, so for us
Hmm.
it was like going to the beach was a whole week-long trip. We would drive like
Yeah.
6 hours to the coast. So just from a different perspective, what was it like growing up that close?
So when I was younger, my parents and my mom in particular, like every weekend we would just go to Key Biscayne. That was one of her favorite beaches to go to because it was a little bit more connected to wildlife at that point as well. It was really connected to a lot like a lot of raccoons, coyotes,
Oh,
iguanas, even though they're invasive species here. And it also had a lot of history. So there is like this historic lighthouse that's been there for, I believe, more than a century now, and that was one of her favorite things to do. So every weekend when I was little, like she would always like pack us a little meal. She would pack me in like the pinkest little like one piece, and then we would go for the rest of the day.
oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. Now we don't
I
really do it as much.
yeah.
I don't know what ended up happening, but yeah, she's not like a beach person anymore. I think it's because of all the people that came. She's just tired of people.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there's a crowded beach is really different from a not crowded beach, to be
That's very
honest. Like,
true.
because it does, for me at least, it kind of interrupts the like natural part of the beach, which sounds silly because it's all pretty much natural, but it just, when everybody's blasting their music or like just blocking your view of the ocean with their umbrella,
Yeah.
it's harder for me to connect personally, but
But no, yeah, it has been happening a lot too. I personally, with me, like I love to go to the beach in the mornings. because
Hmm.
not a lot of people are waking up. I'm there at like 7:30, 8 a.m. maybe, but if it's a little bit late, especially at low tide, like that's my favorite when there's not a lot of people. I don't have to like go all the way to the deep end. I could just feel like the light, like waves coming in. And it's really, I feel like it's more relaxing in the morning. Like, yes, it kind of sucks to wake up so early just to go to a certain designation, but it's always worth it at the end. And by the time like it's 11, like people are already there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done for today. I've had my beach for today. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Yeah. Have you noticed a lot of changes in the beaches that you've been going to the majority of your life? Like, have they, I don't know, have they closed or have they just become thinner or anything like that?
I've definitely noticed some changes, particularly with Key Biscayne. There are certain beaches there now that unfortunately, like there are designated seasons or designated periods that we aren't able to go because one in particular that I love to go with my dog sometimes, it will get pollution or it will have like an overproduction of algae or algae, whatever you,
Hmm.
however you sell it. So there's a certain point of the year that we aren't allowed to go and it really sucks. And there are other certain points and changes like Key Biscayne, the one that my mom used to love to go to. Now they're doing like beach rentals, like they would
Hmm.
go in, like you would have to pay to get like towels, chairs, the umbrella and everything. And back
Hmm.
like 20 years ago, literally 20 years ago, that wasn't even a thing. Like everyone had to bring their own thing.
Right.
So
Yeah, so it's more like commercialized now. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and before we were recording, you were kind of talking about how that sort of thing is kind of happening all around Florida. If you want to just talk about that a little bit more and maybe bring a little bit more awareness to that.
Definitely. So I feel like in Florida has become more of a commercial. Like even just going to Everglades National Park, that was one that we used to go to a lot as well. Those
Hmm.
parks, if I'm not mistaken, they used to be maybe national, federal. I'm not sure. I wasn't really that knowledgeable when I was little going to them constantly. But I know that
Hmm.
it was always like free admission every weekend or every other month or everything of the sorts. Now, like when I was looking at it with my friends who want to come down here and explore everything of the Everglades, now it's you have to pay a hefty fee, and then even for that hefty fee just to get in there, like it's not guaranteed like you'll see the whole park, which kind of sucks now.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's also a lot of construction, like I've been talking before. Like there's even a lot of road
Mhm.
constructions in the Everglades, and that really sucks. Not only for, the gators that are just, they have that path. For the cougars, the panthers, our Florida panthers are suffering a great amount, I would say, with all this new construction. Not only are they losing more land, but with all the construction that's happening by with the highways and freeways, we've been seeing a little bit more deaths or accidental like deaths and people like, of course, like almost losing their lives because they're running into the panthers, like
Right.
panthers and deers especially here.
Yeah, there's not as much of a buffer between the wildlife areas and the human areas,
Yeah,
so it's going to cause more conflict. And I think people tend to like put that blame on the animals for maybe entering their space or going in their backyard or whatever it is, but it's our fault.
exactly.
We're continuously developing and pushing the land to its maximum capacity. So, yeah.
Yeah. A funny story about that one, and that's actually a pretty good, like, that just brought me back. My cousins used to live in Naples. So
Okay.
every summer we would go to Naples, and my cousins own like a good acre of land. Like they had their house, and then they had like a good plot of land after. And once in a while we would see some black bears, especially Mama Bear with her
Mhm.
small bears. And anytime we would see them, like we would instantly just run inside because I don't know about you, but I don't want to
Mhm.
mess with Mama Bear, especially with her little
No.
kiddos around there. No, thank you. And then we would see them, like they would cross around like the basketball court or something, and literally like they would go straight to the trash can, dump the trash, and then they'll be on their way to the
Mhm.
next house or to across the street, and it's like, oh well, there you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. It's like, do not mess with a female when I mean, you shouldn't mess with any animal, in my opinion, but especially when it's a female with her babies around, because you're just
Exactly.
asking for violence and aggression that
Yeah.
you can't handle,
Yeah. At that point, you're just asking for death.
literally. What scares you about nature?
So, what scares me the most is just how unpredictable it can be. And I feel like that ties not only to wildlife, but it also like ties into the field that I'm interested in, veterinary and veterinary science in general. In regards to veterinary science, like, yes, we are working, we have dogs, we have cats living in our houses and everything, and we've domesticated them for a large amount of time. But at the end of
Hmm.
the day, like I working in a general practice small clinic, it always like astonishes me, especially like let's say Fluffy wants is getting, coming to get some blood work and everything. And owner's always like, oh yeah, Fluffy is like the sweetest little thing. Like she will never hurt me or she will never hurt you. And meanwhile, like Fluffy is in her
Hmm.
bag, like hissing, swatting at you, like trying to like maul you if she can. I feel like that's very unpredictable. Because it's just
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, it is a cat, it is a feline, and she's seeing me as a threat. And if I let her out of the bag and I didn't have anything prepared, she would maul me. She would put a good scratch on me. And I think that's like, no matter how many people say, like, oh my God, but we domesticated these animals for like periods of times and everything. At the end of the day, they're going to react. They're going to go into their natural instinct. And if they feel
Mhm.
threatened, scared, or show like, or they feel a certain way, they will let you know. So that's how I relate
Yeah.
it into that field. Regarding like actual nature, hurricanes. Here we got a lot of, well,
Mm.
luckily, I don't want to jinx it this upcoming hurricane season, but we have been able to escape all the hurricanes passing through. But it's also the unpredictability of that. Like, a good example of that would be when I was 17, 2017, Hurricane Irma passed by and it actually hit us when it predicted that everyone, like the weather people and everything, are like, oh yeah, no, it's not going to hit Florida. It's not going to hit Miami in particular. Like, it's going to go by, it's probably gonna hit Key West and then, like go back to like go down to Cuba or something of the sort. And then the last minute, like the last day, I would say, the Weather Channel was like, yeah, so it's gonna hit Miami, straight into Miami, a category 3. If you guys didn't prep, that's on you. But
Oh,
good luck,
man.
guys. So definitely that hurricanes to me, like experiencing it is, I would say, very astonishing, but it's also so intimidating. It's so scary,
Yeah.
especially like if you get to a certain category like 3. Of course, like I feel like they're making more, I feel like they're going to make more categories for these hurricanes because each time they're getting stronger and stronger. But even at
Yeah.
a category 3, you're hitting like winds possibly up to like 80, 70 miles per hour, a lot of like rain and everything. But with that wind, like I usually sleep through that. No, I'm up all night. Like it's a very scary thing to deal with, especially like since your house is like all dark and everything because of the windshields being like covered and
Yeah.
all that. And then when you lose power, yeah, that's when like shit hit the fan.
Whenever that, when it was Hurricane Irma, you said in 2017, right?
Yeah.
So you said that like a day before they said, oh, it actually is gonna hit. Was there, I don't know if you remember, like, was there widespread panic? Were people actually prepared just in case? Or like how, I guess just from your perspective, like how to heart do we take the weather predictions from humans versus like understanding that it is unpredictable?
So, coming as a native Floridian, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows this, the memes. Here, particularly in Miami, we really don't like consider it. Like we're always like hee hee ha ha, like whatever, the last minute. There are other people, like some snowbirds will come down during this time around in the season, or they have like houses or properties here. I see them freak out more than how me and my mom
Mhm.
freak out, and we've been here like in Miami our entire lives. They would literally be like, oh my God, like a generator. Oh my God, like sand, plywood, water, this and this, batteries, all of this. Me and my mom, like my mom would be like, and then she's like, she only speaks Spanish. So she'll just be like, oh, hurricane possibly hitting. Get extra water bottles. It's fine. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And like the latest that we will do in our household is just like how Hurricane Irma came. We're like, oh crap, like it's actually coming. Okay, well we have enough water
Mhm.
in case like anything happens. Electricity, yeah, sucks to suck. Like, we're not gonna get a generator. That's too expensive. And the most we'll do is
Mhm.
just use the metal thing to cover our windows in case a tree like decides to come down or anything of the sort and wants to hit like a window. That's how we did it. That's how we always do hurricanes. So a
Gotcha.
true native Floridian would be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But like other people would be like, absolutely not. Like, why are you not panicking? Like, this is a real thing. And we're like, we'll get to
Yeah.
it when we get to it, basically.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess it just depends like where you grew up and what you're used to. Yeah. That's But you said, are there like metal bars on your windows, or what were you talking about with the metal? Like you have
So I
metal.
don't know the exact term of it. My house, so the house that I grew up in, it was built back in 2006. So it came with like the sheet of metal, not like the actual like metal bars that you've
Mhm.
seen in like some other houses, like probably in the 60s, 50s, I don't know, when they decided to do metal bars on windows. But it's like this whole sheet of metal that would be wrapped on your window, and you would literally have to use a screwdriver to remove it or to add it to your window. So that's what we have, and we've had that since like
Mm.
the house came. I think personally from everything that I've also seen like from construction to other houses, like when my neighbors have to use them, like I feel like that's a mandatory thing that comes with the house or the property that you
Mm.
have.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, that would make sense just because you're in the zone of being hit by more tropical storms.
Mhm.
I like hearing what those experiences are like,
Mhm.
just in case, I have to, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but not even prepared, just like talk to someone who has gone through something like that
Yeah.
and just try to understand like where they're coming from. And
Mhm.
so I think we all need to do a better job of that. So thank you for sharing your experiences.
Anytime. But yeah, and in other cases, like of where it scares me, like in Nicaragua, Nicaragua is known for a lot of volcanoes and everything, but they also get earthquakes. I've never experienced an earthquake in my life. Every time I've gone there, I've been lucky enough to not experience it. So it's kind of like that
Mm-hmm.
whole native Floridian versus like the person that's like seeing and everything. That would be me. Like I would be the one panicking, and then my family members would be like, "Oh, it's a little tremor. Like we'll be fine. Just go ahead and do your thing."
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I would just be like, "What the hell just happened? Like, why is the earth shaking? Like, why is this? Why am I getting this feeling?" And it's the same way with tornadoes. Like, I don't know about you, but I feel like tornadoes are becoming a little bit more common in states that we've never experienced tornadoes before. Florida did have a case, not South Florida, but
Mm-hmm.
more northern Florida, where we witnessed like a mini little tornado, and I was just like never did I think we would experience it. Like me thinking like tornadoes, I'm thinking about like Wizard of Oz, like mid
Yeah.
Midwest, like mid United States, and I'm like, no way can it hit Florida. That there's just no way. So that's why I'm just like, "Oh, this could really happen." Like, damn, not only do I have to worry about hurricanes, but I
Yeah.
guess I have to worry about like tornadoes now, which kind of sucks.
I know it is really like scary and just eye-opening that you're like seeing all of these different quote unquote natural
Mm-hmm.
disasters or extreme weather events happening where we think they shouldn't. Like even I think North Carolina, they just got like 11 inches of snow or something, and that
Yes, they
is not
did.
normal.
Even
And
northern, like
even Florida, wasn't it
Tallahassee
like
got,
20
yeah,
degrees?
Tallahassee got some snow.
Okay. So like anything can happen, and it's like what are we supposed to do? Like how do
It,
we have to stay vigilant and actually
it was
prepare at
so
this
weird.
point.
Miami hit, I think it was Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. In the morning, we hit 27 degrees in Miami. Like I woke up, I
Oh
went
my
outside
gosh.
and I ran back inside. I ran up to my boyfriend. I'm like, it's Pennsylvania weather right now. Why am I in Pennsylvania weather right now if I'm in Miami? And then he was
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" So I push him outside and he goes, "No, absolutely not." And we both like hauled ass back
Mhm.
inside onto our rooms. But
Yeah, because it's just like, why this should not be happening. And
exactly.
I feel like are people even questioning it or just like accepting it? They're like,
No,
oh, that's
no.
weird and
So
move on. But like, Why is this happening?
In regards to this entire like past week that it's been cold in Miami, like Miami gets like 60-degree cold, Pennsylvania, Maryland weather. That's like, you could still wear a little shirt and some shorts, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Um, but here, like it was the coldest here for like a good 2.5 weeks, and we were all like, "Hey, like this usually dies
Mhm.
down by a week. Like, why do we still?" I saw people in their puffer jackets, and I was like, "Guys, okay, we're being a little
Yeah.
dramatic. Like, it's not that cold, but I get it." But everyone was just questioning it. It's like, "Hey, usually I'm only wearing this jacket for like once a week for like the next 365 days or like the 52 weeks that we have in a year. Like, why do I have to wear it for a second week in a row?" So that everyone was really
Right.
questioning it.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's good. They're questioning it. I don't know if anybody looked into it. That the question's good. I think we all need to ask more questions. I say that like almost every episode I record because it comes up naturally, and it's like we just all need to be more curious and look things up at, credibly sourced information, obviously.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
what is your favorite animal, plant, or landscape?
So my favorite animal, I've never seen it in the wild. I've always seen it in captivity, is the cheetah, the fastest land animal.
Ooh,
Yeah. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but cheetahs are one of the cats, kind of like the Florida Panthers. They don't roar. They're not like the actual big cats. Like they're quoted as to be big cats, but they're not really big cats. Do you know they actually meow and they purr?
I did
Yeah.
not know. I know that sometimes in zoos they get like an emotional support dog or something. I
Yes.
learned that. Yeah.
I still find that weird too. I'm just like, how does that occur? Why
Yeah.
do a dog too? I was like, why wouldn't it be a emotional
Yeah.
support cheetah instead of a dog? I don't like I question it, but at the same time, I don't really like question it further. I'm just like, you know what? That's cool as long as it doesn't do anything at the end of the day. We're fine. It's good. It's
Right.
good.
And like who was the first zoologist to like figure that out, or where did they like bring their dog to work one day and
They
then
were like, you know
they were
what?
just bonding so
They're like,
hard?
my dog is getting so well with this cheetah. Let's just make it happen. But yeah,
But
I've always wanted
cool.
to see them in the wild, and I hope in my lifetime I am able to. But yeah, they're one of my favorite. My favorite. I like to say meow meow, so they're one of my favorite meow meows to like see. Every time I see them at the
Mhm.
zoo, I'm just like standing there for a good 30 minutes, and then my parents or like whoever I'm with at the time, they're like, "All right, like, let's go.
Let's go.
There's other animals to
I'm
see."
manifesting. I'm manifesting that you're going to see one in the
I
wild.
hope so.
I
Thank
have,
you.
of course, I have actually been able to see one in the wild. I saw a few actually. I will send you some photos because actually through Penn State I went to Tanzania and we saw we saw cheetahs at two different times, but we saw them like hunting
Ooh.
and it was so
Oh.
cool just because they were actually like sprinting
Yeah.
around. There were three of them in just an open field. I think eventually like a hyena came and stole whatever they were trying to hunt, which is what they
Yeah.
do. But and then at another point we like way off into the distance, we had to like look through binoculars. There was a female cheetah with three cubs, and we were like all trying to share like this one pair of
Uh-huh.
binoculars, but they're just so majestic, and they were just like all laying on a rock together, just so unbothered. And meanwhile, we were like all lined up looking at
Mhm.
them. They just they were just chilling there. Like it's amazing how much time cats just like lay
Yeah,
down. Like they
literally.
do not, yeah, they expend their energy just to get food and then just go lay down for the rest of
Mhm.
the day. Like it's so great.
Mhm. Yeah, like
It's so great.
my girl's 15. She's a cute Berman cat. Her name is Sassy. And the entire maybe when she was younger, she would hunt here and there, but now with her old age, she would literally sleep through the entire day. She's sleeping right now. And at night is when she would do her cute little like crispy meows to ask for food, and I'll be like, "All right, it's dinner
Mm,
time or like snack time or whatever," and I'll go ahead and feed her, and then she eats and then she's back to sleep. So same way
yep.
as it is in the wild,
Yep.
it's how it is with our domestic kitties.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
they're my favorite cats. So I'm happy that you got to see them. Ugh, I always feel lucky whenever like anyone I talk to, they're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen a cheetah," and I'm like, "You are blessed." Like that is a thrilling thing to see, especially like in action. Like I would love to
Yeah,
see one in action.
I know. And that we were like with guides, like people from Tanzania, and they were like, we really like don't see them in action that often, but they were like, you guys are seeing something really cool right now. And so I try to just like see it and not try to take photos of it, but then afterwards I'm like, oh, I wish I had more photos.
Same.
But I'm a real like try to be in the moment
Yeah.
kind of person, and then I always end up wishing I had
It's
more.
okay. You'll have like that one friend that be like, "I got it." And it's like, "Great, perfect, send it
I
to me."
know. Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
I've
But
seen dolphins in the wild. Like I don't know
um,
what type of dolphin. I'm gonna be that person. I don't know,
mm,
but it would be like days where I'm going to the beach or anything, and then let's say I am by the port and I hear them like with their cute little like rising up to get like air, and then they go back down. I've seen them and they're really cute.
yeah.
Manatees, girl, manatees are so
Oh my
cute.
gosh. I was actually just in Florida visiting my parents. They're there for like 3 months in
Uh-huh.
Orlando. I went to Blue Ridge State Park, maybe not Ridge. I don't know what.
Is it the
Blue
springs?
something. Yes. Oh, Blue
Yeah.
Springs. I think that's what it's called. Yes, I went there and there were like 400 some manatees when we were there. So I was loving it.
They're so cute. And it's a good, like, when you came down here, it was like a good migration for them right now because they're like a little bit more out than usual right now. But they're so
Oh,
cute. Like, it's so
good.
hard to, like, not want to hug them, even though I know you're not allowed to, but
I
it's just like,
know.
I really would love to.
I know. And I mean, they're just
They
vibing.
really
Like
do.
literally, their whole lives are just
And
a
they just
vibe.
float, they eat their little grass, and they just live.
Hmm.
They just live.
I saw one that was like hanging on to another one. I don't know if you know why that happens, but we were like cracking up because it, it it was literally just chasing the same manatee and like grabbing onto
Oh,
it.
Lord. No, I don't know exactly why. Maybe mating. I'm not sure if it was
That's
that particular
yeah.
thing. I have heard cases of like, let's say someone is kayaking or snorkeling or whatever, and they attach them and they won't let them go. So it's just like, who
Oh,
knows the reason as to why? But it's a manatee
mhm.
at the end. Like, I wouldn't mind if a manatee hugged me. Like, I'm not gonna hug you back, but thank you for
No,
hugging me.
same. Thank you for choosing me.
Thank you
Yes,
for choosing me.
exactly. What are some reasons you cannot or do not spend more time outside?
So, one of the reasons why I don't spend a lot of time outdoors is unfortunately I am always working. I feel like
Mm,
our generation got the short end of the stick that we're just constantly either we have our good 9 to 5 or the good 9 to 5 isn't cutting our bills and we have to get a second job or a little other hobby. So, unfortunately, with that, I'm not able to go outside as much or anything. Like, how I talked to you in the beginning, like I've always went to the beach in the mornings. I can't do that anymore because I have to enter at 7 a.m. bright and early for work to deal with some kitties and some
yeah,
doggies for the rest of the day. It's also just like very like long, like I work sometimes up to 12 hours a day. So by the time I get home, it's like I'm exhausted. All I want to do is shower, eat, and like that's all I want to do. I also feel like,
yeah,
and maybe I am wrong, I also feel like there isn't a lot to do outdoors Miami way, like in a Miami sort of way. I know that people have like their little hobbies. I know there's run clubs and everything here if you go to downtown and all that, but it's just like that doesn't speak to me. I don't want to like run with random people that I don't know and I really do not care to meet. But in regards to like
yeah,
wildlife things, like if it's not like a good drive, like you're also spending a lot of money just to do it. And it's just like for me, I'm like, I don't think like, that's worth it anymore. When I was in Penn State, however, that was worth it. Like we would, me and my roommates would be like, it's getting a little bit stressful. Let's go out for a walk. And then on our walk, we'll be like, oh my God, look, a deer
yeah,
or like a raccoon. And then, that I really loved. But yeah, it's just like making a time for it or just, randomly
yeah,
doing it one day instead of having to plan it out a week in advance. Like that's what I miss the most about it. Just I don't have the time anymore. And then if I do have the time, like it's money to do it, and it's just, not ideal
Yeah.
anymore for me.
I think all of us can relate to that, especially though, like working all day, then being tired, and it's like you just want to rot, you know? Like it's hard to really make the time and commit to spending time outside or even spending money to do outdoor activities. I'm going to wrap this segment by asking you a question, and you can take time to
Okay.
think, and I'll give an answer too. But like, what's one thing that you could do this weekend or like next week that prioritizes nature time, whether that's doing something outdoors or just like some sort of content or learning experience involved with
Oh my
nature?
God, if I could, and if I had the time, I would definitely just like to go a little bit more down north, whether it's Homestead area or even going to Key West. Key West is a 3-hour drive from where I'm at right now. Just going to Key
Mm.
West and kayaking. That's all I want to do. Or even just like, I don't even have to go to Key West. I just, like, I could just literally go to Key Biscayne and try to do that. I would love to do that.
Mm.
But
That is so, I was literally gonna say kayaking
it's
too.
it's very peaceful. Like at first I was kind of intimidated by it because, ironically enough, I'm talking about the beach and talking about how much I love water. I am not the best swimmer, to be honest with you. But, at first it was
That
intimidating,
is
but now,
fair.
like,
You can still enjoy the
you
beach.
know, it's really relaxing. What's that other one? Me and my boyfriend's family used to do this a lot too when we first started dating. It's one where paddleboarding, is that what it's called? Like you stand on top of the paddle and you're just,
Oh, like,
you know,
yeah,
yeah. We used
paddleboarding.
to do that a lot as well. My boyfriend's parents still have the paddle to this day, and we haven't used it since I would say like 2023, 2024. So it's been quite a bit.
Oh my
Yeah, we
gosh.
used to get like,
Well, I think 2026 is the year to break that bad boy
yeah, we
back
had
out.
two of
That's what
them.
I.
My boyfriend literally bought my dogs like little life vests and everything, and we would used to do that a lot. But now it's
Oh my
like a lost
gosh.
art. Maybe I gotta bring that up to him. Be like, hey,
You know what? I think you do need to bring that back up to him and say, this needs to happen as soon as it gets warm. That sounds like a great like thing to look forward to and a great it just seems like you have such good memories with it already. So I would personally love to see photos of your dogs on a paddleboard. So even if that's the reason why you do it, you should.
girl, to take a picture of them on a paddleboard, that's gonna be a mission. They're always falling. They're always falling. Unless you wanna.
But they like the water.
Yeah, Goof is a natural born swimmer. He loves the water. As soon as we go to the beach, he runs towards it. Leia, she's a little bit more laid back. She's just like, you know what, I'm here. Whatever. I'll get hyped up if I want to get hyped up, but for the most part, she's gonna
Mhm.
sunbathe.
That
Mm-hmm.
respect to both. What do you know about climate change?
So, climate change. I'm not like super, super educated on it. I'm not like on every news outlet, like seeing what is going on. But what I will say is, coming from someone who's lived in a warm climate her entire life, family comes from a warm climate, is Miami has been getting cold out of nowhere. People would say, oh, yeah, Miami has always been cold for a couple months. Yeah, back in like when, yeah, everyone was using hairspray like crazy or whatever, the ozone layer sucked ass and non-existent. But
Yeah.
Miami is getting cold again. Miami is also getting very, very hot. There are some days in the summer where I cannot step out with my dogs, or if I am dog walking, I cannot step out with them. It would feel like 100, or it will be like 96, but it will feel like 120. There are droughts.
Yeah, and it's just dangerous for the dogs and for you. Yeah.
Exactly. It's dangerous for everyone, especially like the ones that can barely breathe, like the pugs and the Frenchies. Girl, do not walk them during
Yeah.
the summer heat. Like, you're just asking to go to the ER at this point. Like, do not walk them unless it's like
Yeah.
absolutely safe. Yeah, we're getting increased hurricanes. That's something
Hmm.
like growing up here. Like, yeah, I would see like two hurricanes by least. No, hurricane season is literally around the corner. And last year on its own, just for 2025, we saw a multitude of at least like 15 hurricanes. or
Mm,
potential hurricanes. And that has, and
yeah.
they say it in the media outlet like every single year, like, oh my God, the number of hurricanes is increasing. The number, like their, I guess you would say like their power or whatever is also like increasing. Like category
Yeah,
5 is at the max.
intensity.
They're starting to think about making another categories for these hurricanes. It's a real,
Hmm.
it's climate change. All I have to say is it's a very real thing. We are living through it, whether people want to believe it or not. No matter where you are, like in the world, like my cousins from Nicaragua, they are getting droughts, and Nicaragua has never really, at least in the part that they live, they have never experienced droughts before. They are experiencing it right now.
Are there like freshwater reserves drying up or just not being, I don't know how much you know about it, but what are they telling you about like where their water's coming from that's no longer supplying?
So in where, how do I explain this? Because my one of my particular families, they live a little bit more like country based, I guess you would say, like a little bit more mountain based, and they would get their water
Hmm.
either from like a little like water reserve, or they would have like a, what's those, what are those things called? Is it a water reserve? It's like a
Like a
big,
reservoir?
yeah, a reservoir. There you go. And
Hmm.
like I guess like each house would have one, or if it's like a really, really small community that I've witnessed before, like they would share like a huge, huge one. They've been saying that their reserves in their house, like the one that they have in the mountains, dried up, and they've never experienced
Uh,
that before. Another
hmm.
thing, we're talking about Nicaragua and Miami all the time. I'm half Honduran, not really like tied to that culture per se because it's from my dad's side, so I don't know much about it. And I've only gone like
Hmm.
3 times in my entire existence. But my dad, he has property there. My aunt has property there. My aunt is a very great example. I talk to her every single day. She has property there. She has, she's known to have coffee beans. She makes coffee.
Hmm.
And in her land this year, coffee is just not growing for her. There's lack of water, it's too hot, and especially like she worries about it because that's how she gets her income from Honduras. Like
Yeah,
coffee is what helps her, keep and maintain her house, her land, the people that help her out there. And she's concerned. She's like, listen, if my coffee beans are not like working now, like how am I gonna deal with summer? And summer is intense over there.
right.
So
Yeah,
it's
and does she get any, I don't know anything about the Honduran government, but does she get any support? Like if she doesn't have income from that, like I know that might be a thing that happens in the United States, but I don't really know too much about it.
So during government, I'm not able to tell you because I'm not 100% educated on it. But what I do
Hmm.
know is that Honduras is currently changing their government right now. I think they just elected like a new
Mm.
president with the whole like from Venezuela happening. They also decided to have their election around that
Hmm.
time. So I'm not 100% sure. I just
Yeah,
know that her previous time, like my aunt's property is from the mountains as well. Like she lives in her childhood like village, I guess you would say, or little community.
hmm,
And that coffee, she would sell it back to the capital, which is Tegucigalpa, or the workers that she has there, like they'll go ahead and sell it to other like people and
yeah,
other little small places or anything to make a buck. And for that, like she'll keep it in like in a, I guess in like a private like Inks account that she has or anything of the sorts, and she'll just
yeah.
have it there in case for anything that would
Uh,
happen.
okay, so she kind of it seems like she is aware of the impacts that these climate impacts will have on her, so she might have a plan to maybe try to figure something else out financially.
Yeah. So another one, my cousin as well. My cousin also lives in Honduras. I visit her house quite a lot when I do go over there because she lives in a beautiful like ranch. She has a little her
Mhm.
cows go up the hill every single night to sleep and to pass that hill sometimes. This is one of my favorite memories. Like one of my few times that I've been there, but one of my favorite times, like my favorite memories of all time. We would go with the horses. We would get on our horses. We would either lead the cows back to their little resting area so they could call it a night, or we would get them up in the morning to milk them and everything. And in between that hill and between the hill where they sleep and everything, there's a fresh water, like a, it's not a reservoir. It's like a fresh stream of water. And when there would be a lot of rain, sometimes we would have to go to plan B and be like, okay, the cows are going to sleep in this area tonight and they're going to wake up at this area tonight because there's too much water. Lately, she's been telling me like, well, I haven't had that problem within like the past year because there's, the stream is very little this time around. Like, compared to how it was like when I went in 2021, like it was a mission to get those cows up there. But now she's saying like, I'm not really fighting it anymore. Like, I don't have to use plan B. Like the cows are sleeping in plan A. And, she's like, I love it, but it also is concerning me because this stream of water is like, sometimes I'll wash my clothes there. Sometimes I'll use it, for X, Y, and Z purposes for the animals, and my animals are like, especially the cows, like if they get thirsty and everything, like they'll use that fresh stream of water and just, like bathe there, they will drink their water there and everything of the sorts. But lately it's becoming an issue. Luckily with her, she's not currently going through the same issues that my aunt is going through. My aunt, my cousin has like another means of income, which is her dairy, because she has quite a lot of cows. So she's milking those cows, making cheese, selling the milk and everything. So there she is fine. I will say that my cousin is, she has that backup in case like her actual farming doesn't do well during that season.
That's good that she's a backup, but still just so, it just must be so scary, like if not to know that, your way of life that you're used to, how it's going to be affected.
Exactly. But yeah, I would definitely say that it's a very real thing, whether people want to believe it
Yeah.
or not. And I personally feel like this is probably me being very negative, but I just feel like it's gonna get worse before it gets better, or even if it gets better.
I think it will have to get so much worse for people to really start caring the way a lot of us already do, especially like your family sharing their experiences with you and then you sharing with me, hopefully sharing with my audience. I hope that just shows people that you should care, like even if you don't think it's affecting you right now, it is, but also it's really affecting other people, and
Mhm.
just that alone should be a reason to want to take action, in my
Exactly.
opinion.
I would, yeah,
Hmm.
100%.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Nature with You. If you're interested in more episodes, search Nature with You on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. If you're interested in more content, search Nature with You on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you.